साई राम साईं,
आते हैं तेरे द्वारे,
आते हैं तेरे द्वारे,
मिलते हैं तेरे द्वारे,
मिलते हैं तेरे द्वारे।
साईं राम, साईं राम, साईं राम, साईं राम,
साईं राम, साईं राम, साईं राम, साईं राम,
साईं राम, साईं राम, साईं राम, साईं राम,
साईं राम, साईं राम, साईं राम, साईं राम।
सर्वधर्म स्वरूपा साई।
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering our collective salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan Baba, respected elders, dignitaries seated on stage, brothers, sisters, delegates who are here from various states to take part in the 3-day National Teachers Conference, and students, a very, very warm welcome this morning. Acharati iti acharya. Teacher is one who practices. Acharya, guru, teacher. In Sanskrit, the term guru means one who dispels darkness. And like Baba says, every guru is a teacher, but not every teacher is a guru. And he has very beautifully differentiated, and he says the basic difference between a guru and a teacher is this: a teacher provokes the mind, but the guru touches the soul. A teacher instructs the students, a guru constructs the students. A teacher imparts knowledge, but a guru imparts wisdom. And it is the journey of every teacher to become a guru. And the teacher has the greatest share in molding the children of tomorrow. The profession of teaching is said is the noblest, the most important, but also the most difficult. And during the course of these 3 days, through many speeches, many group discussions, sessions, every teacher present here will understand that apart from imparting that knowledge which is required to eke out a living for every child, spirituality and morality in education, in a values-based education, is very, very essential and crucial. The education system lies on 4 pillars: as the teacher, the parent, the institution, and of course, the student. Like Baba has always reminded us, when a child is born, he is born divine and pure. So the environment in which this child or student is nurtured must be kept divine and pure.
ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಸಾಯಿರಾಮ್. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಮಹಾಸಮ್ಮೇಳನದ ಈ ಶುಭ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಆರಾಧ್ಯ ದೈವ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಬಾಬಾರವರ ಅಡಿದಾವರೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನೆರೆದ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಇವತ್ತು ಕಾರಣಾಂತರಗಳಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗದೇ ಇರೋ ಸಹಸ್ರ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಕೋಟಿ ನಮನಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ನೀವೇ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪಿಸಿದಂಥ ಈ ಮಹಾನ್ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಸಮುದಾಯವನ್ನು, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಭಕ್ತರನ್ನು ಅನುಗ್ರಹಿಸಿ ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ, ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚರಿಸಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಬೋಧಿಸುವವನೇ ನಿಜವಾದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಎನ್ನುವ ವೇದವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಂದಿನ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಗುರುವಾದವನು ತನ್ನ ಆದರ್ಶ ಜೀವನದಿಂದ, ಸಾಧನೆಯಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಗುಣನಡವಳಿಕೆಗಳು ರೂಪುಗೊಳ್ಳುವ ಆ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಅರಿವನ್ನು ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಗೃತಗೊಳಿಸಿ, ಅಂತಹ ಅರಿವನ್ನು ಜಾಗೃತಗೊಳಿಸುವಲ್ಲಿ ಸಶಕ್ತನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಅಂತಹ ಆದರ್ಶ ಗುರುಗಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರೇರಿತರಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಭವಿಷ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತರಂಗದ ನೈಜ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ಅರಿತು ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸದಿಂದ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯ ಸುಮಧುರತೆಯ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿಶ್ವದ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಆದರ್ಶ ಗುರುಗಳನ್ನು ಅವಲಂಬಿಸಿದೆ. ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಕಠಿಣವೆನಿಸಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಂದಿಗೂ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಸಮಾವೇಶ ಬಹಳ ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಸಮಾವೇಶದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನವನ್ನು, ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯವರ ಪ್ರೇಮಾನುಗ್ರಹದ ಆ ವರ್ಷದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಆ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯವರ ಅಪ್ಪಣೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯರನ್ನು, ಮಹಾತ್ಮರನ್ನು ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಿಸುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ವಿದ್ಯುಕ್ತವಾದ ಚಾಲನೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया। शांति शांति शांति।
we will begin this auspicious morning with the Vedic invocation by our girl students. They will chant the Madhusudam.
ऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मा गतः श्रीरुतत्वया त्वया जुष्टश्चित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्वद्रविणो न मेधे मेधाम इन्द्रो दधातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विना उभावा दत्तां पुष्करस्रजाम् अप्सरासु च या मेधा गन्धर्वेषु च यन्मनः दैवी मेधा सरस्वती सा मां मेधा सुरभिर्जुषताग स्वाहा आमां मेधा सुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगति जगम्या ऊर्जस्वती पयसा पिन्वमाना सा मां मेधा सुप्रतीका जुषन्ताम् मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि अग्निस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि इन्द्र इन्द्रियं दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो दधातु हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
We take this opportunity to thank and also once again officially welcome all the dignitaries seated on the dais, and we would like to extend our token of love and gratitude to all of them. Shri Nirmalanandhanatha Swamiji, head of Adi Chunchandgiri Mutt. Shri Tanveer Seth, Honorable Minister for Primary and Secondary Education, Minority Welfare and Waqif Department excluding Hajj, Government of Karnataka. Shri Basavaraj Patil Sedam, Rajya Sabha Member from Government of Karnataka. Shri PGR Sindhya, former Minister, Government of Karnataka and Chief Commissioner, Bharat Scouts and Guides, Karnataka. Dr. Sudhakar K, MLA from Chikbalapur District. Father Charles Ogada, founder and current president of the Spiritan Self-Awareness Initiative from Nigeria, an organization committed to the promotion of self-awareness through integral education. Shri Narayan Rao, chairman of the Shri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Trust. Shri Sanjeev Shetty, trustee, Shri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Trust, Alike. Shri B.N. Narsimhamurthy, chief mentor, Shri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Institutions. Shri Madhusudan Rao Naidu, illustrious alumnus from the Shri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning and also Bhagwan's chosen communicator.
ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಭಾಷಣವನ್ನು ನೀಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವಂಥ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯರಾದ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾನಂದನಾಥ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು, ಆದಿಚುಂಚನಗಿರಿ ಮಠದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಶ್ರೀಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೂ
we will first have the speech by Shri Tanveer Seth, Honorable Minister for Primary and Secondary Education. Shri Tanveer Seth is from the Indian National Congress and represents the Narasimha Raja constituency of Mysore, Karnataka. The constituency has been served by the Seth family for over 3 decades, and Shri Tanveer Seth's father, Shri Aziz Seth, a veteran leader, held the assembly seat 6 times. Brothers and sisters, Shri Tanveer Seth.
Thank you. My respects to Sathya, my respects to His Holiness Sri Nirmalanandanatha Swamiji, Honorable MP Sri Baswaraj Patil Sedamji, Honorable Legislator of this constituency, Dr. Sudhakar, former Minister and fatherly person, Shri PGR Senior, Chief Commissioner, Bharat Scouts and Guides, Father Charles Agada from Nigeria, Shri Narayan Rao, Shri Sanjeev Shetty, the Chief Trustee, Shri Narsimurthy, Shri Madhusudan, distinguished invitees, participants of the National Conference, National Teachers Conference 2017. On the outset, I should congratulate the organizers for having organized the Teachers Conference. Perhaps this is the need of the hour. A teacher is a person who can mold others' life. The teaching faculty has to update knowledge on a daily basis. Only then the future could be molded well. And what all we speak about the educational aspects, perhaps the technology has shown us a lot of shortcuts in achieving our goals in the day-to-day life. A fertile land which could yield 1 crop a year, with the technology, now we are in a position to yield 3 crops a year. The mode of transport has been rapidly grown, so we can cover the distance in a very shorter time. We have technologies to build structures, but education, right from the day the man, the human creativity the Almighty has created, transforming education is an art. We just cannot find shortcuts. Education is rather which coincides with the nature. That is where the learning indicators have to be borne in mind before coming out of our curricular or the academic, whatever we create for the grade 1 to grade 12 or even higher education. But of late, education is no longer a commodity to be campaigned. Every individual, every parent has a dream for their child. Fulfilling the dreams of the parents, it is the responsibility of a teacher. A teacher cannot be a person who transforms the education through their lecture or writing on the blackboard. It is more rather a job of a creator. The creativity should be enhanced in a teacher. When you have creativity among teachers, we can definitely see the change in the student community where they will have a reason to question why. We have various examination boards with us. Every state has an examinations board. They have their own curriculum. We have the CBSE, ICSE, almost to say around 30, 35 modes of educational boards, which confuse the parent community in choosing what is good for their children. But that is where we definitely have to see that irrespective of what the curriculum is, the teaching methodology has to be enhanced. The creativeness in the teachers to bring in more creativeness in the students is the need of the hour. At the same time, we are entangled in so many issues. It may be language, it may be how many languages a student has to study, and ultimately the goal is only one. And every parent wants their children to be educated and stand on their feet. Mere education or knowledge will not be sufficient for the growth of the nation. The moral ethics, I think with the pressure on the students, the ethics are vanishing. We'll have to ensure the moral ethics have to be blended with the educational system. Our educational system which can definitely create the responsibility among the student community to give it back to the society. Education is not mere to build their own status, it is rather to give it back to the community. only everyone starts contributing to the growth of the nation, mere speeches saying that India would be a developed nation or the state would be a progressive state, if the dream has to be realized, every individual has to contribute to the growth of this nation or the state. That is where the role of a teacher becomes more important. Last week, I have been traveling the United Arab Emirates. I was there in connection with the inaugural function of the JSS International School in Dubai. Whatever changes we try to bring in, the institutions and the teachers feel that it's a burden which we are putting on the teachers. It is definitely not a burden. It is a change of trend for which the teachers are to be instrumental and bringing in the change. Whenever we say that the teachers have to be, the knowledge has to be upgraded, trainings have to be conducted, most of the teachers feel this as a burden. Education just to enter into a government job or enter into any profession, that is not the end. When you start working, that is just a beginning. And unless and until the teachers don't update their knowledge with the change of the trend, the teachers will not be in a position to deliver what is expected out of them. In Karnataka, we have initiated a training program. We hope to touch upon 50,000 teachers this year. Ever since I took over as the Minister for Primary and Secondary Education in Karnataka, I have had a series of comparative studies. ICSE syllabus, they go by only one language formula. CBSE goes with two language formula. And we as a state syllabus, we go in by three language formula. Each language takes 180 hours of teaching. And we expect our children to compete at the national level with the NEET and CET. And at times we feel that the hypocrisy has been, we are into the system of hypocrisy, that we fail to express our desires and what is the facts before the media or even on the floor of the house. The very word mother tongue, because we all know the first school of a child is the mother's lap. And we have our own infighting to say that what is the mother tongue and who is going to take it up. And parents expect that the government should take it up. Wherein we have differentiated our schooling system according to the constitutional rights. Article 21 speaks about the rights of linguist minorities. Article 29-30 speaks about the rights of the minority institutions. We talk about various other schools. We'll have to put in a system. A language could be made optional. The student may study. But what is more required, that most of the parents do feel that the professional courses such as engineering and medical are the ultimate. No job is small, no job is big. Any job which gives us that inner satisfaction, when you love your job, you will definitely excel in your field of whatever profession you take in. The society today feels engineering and medical are two professions which can make money. Education to make money is not the system. We'll have to bring in, as I told you, the moral ethics and a sense of responsibility, being a citizen, what we owe back to the society. The system should be brought into the system of education. And for this very purpose, the teachers need to update themselves. And what we expect out of a teacher. The Indian ethics and the religious auspicious teacher is in the form of a guru. And what is lost today, the glory of that very word guru has to be brought back. The self-respect what the teaching profession has to get has to be brought back. And for the very purpose, such conferences, training programs has to be put in place. For the first time in the state of Karnataka, the SSLC and PUC examinations as well as the results were taken up on time, the results were announced on time, and even today, ICSE and CBSE, they have been postponing their dates. And I think we are again to create history. What we learn is history repeats by itself. That is a common phenomenon. But you will have to dare to create history. And that is what we have done. This time we have done away with all grace marks. The realistic results, the efforts put in by the students, we have achieved today. And today we know where the state of Karnataka stands in the field of education. And we'll have to come up with more such programs to see that the capacity building of the teachers in lieu of the child psychology. Because the results also were announced after the CET and NEET examinations. That is only to say that the mind of the child should not be distracted. The examination dates were announced 4 months prior to the examination so as to prepare the mindset of the students. This is unlike any other department where we take decisions on the spot. When it comes to the Department of Education, the planning has to be done and appropriate decisions have to be taken on time. Teachers definitely are the backbone of any society. The 3-day conference, I expect a lot of deliberations to come through. And I also expect the teachers and the participants to raise your queries, try to understand the system of transforming education in the modern world. Because whatever we talk about today, smart classes, visual classes, that is not the ultimate. That is only for the namesake, create more sophistication so that the parents are more confused. And Karnataka, we have already brought in the bill to regulate the fee structures in the school. Because quite often I pose a question to myself, does money buy knowledge? Definitely it's not. Because the Indian tradition, where the Gurukulas have given way, where we have seen so many elite and extremely successful persons coming out of the government schools. The private schools can just create medical and engineering students, but the administrative heads are successful business entrepreneurs, a successful citizen who can owe back to the society is created out of the government schools. This is where we will have to understand. And it is a time now to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. 70 years of independence, the socio-economical capacity building of every citizen, we have ensured that the bridge between the rich and the poor has been reduced. But when it comes to education, we still have created more barriers wherein it is demarcated. The poor go to the government school, the middle class go to the grant-in-aid school, and the rich go to the private school, and after that you have more aristocrat families. So that should not be the system. That is where the right to education has come in place. This year Karnataka has touched the 5 lakh student mark in RTE, right to education. But even there, we have come across so many issues which are quite disturbing, that there is a segregation of students that has to be put in place. We'll have to set right things. I wish this conference a great success, and I thank the organizers for having given me this opportunity to express myself before you all. Wishing you all the best. Thank you. So the translation has already been, they have been doing it online. So those of you who want it to be translated must have come across. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ಅನೇಕ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡುವಂಥ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತೆ. ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜದ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಾಗಿ, ಸಮಾಜದ ಬಲವರ್ಧನೆಗಾಗಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಅನ್ನೋ ಆ ಪದ, ಗುರುವಿನ ಸ್ಥಾನದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮರಳಿ ತರುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ನಾಲೆಜ್ನ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಈ ಸಮಾಜದ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಇಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಥ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಇನ್ನು ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಂಡೊಯ್ಯುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾರೈಸ್ತಾ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಶುಭವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ.
Thank you very much, sir, for all those wonderful words. We would like to extend our love and gratitude for your esteemed presence here this morning.
ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವಚನವನ್ನು ನೀಡಲು ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಪರಮಪೂಜ್ಯ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾನಂದನಾಥ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಆದಿಚುಂಚನಗಿರಿ ಮಠ. ಪೂರ್ವಾಶ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀಗಳು ನಾಗರಾಜ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ನಾಮಧೇಯದಿಂದ ಜುಲೈ 20 1969 ಶ್ರೀ ನರಸೇಗೌಡ ಮತ್ತು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ನಂಜಮ್ಮ ದಂಪತಿಗಳ ಸುಪುತ್ರರಾಗಿ ಜನಿಸಿದರು. ಚೀರ್ನಹಳ್ಳಿ ಗುಬ್ಬಿ ತುಮಕೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಕ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ ನಂತರ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಲಿಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಗುರುಗಳ ಅಪ್ಪಣೆ ಮೇರೆಗೆ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಈಗ ತಮ್ಮ ಆಶೀರ್ವಚನದಿಂದ ಅನುಗ್ರಹಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
हरिः ओं तत्सत्. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलं अचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. श्री विद्यां जगतां धात्रीं सर्गस्थितिलयेश्वरीं नमामि ललितां नित्यां महात्रिपुरसुन्दरीं. ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಲೆಸಿರುವ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಸತ್ಯ ಸಾಯಿಬಾಬಾ ಅವರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆಶ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯೋಜನೆಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪರಮ ಪವಿತ್ರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಗಂಗಾಧರನಾಥ್ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರ ದಿವ್ಯ ಚೇತನಕ್ಕೆ ಮನಸ ನಮಿಸಿ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಸತ್ಯ ಸಾಯಿಬಾಬಾ ಅವರನ್ನು ಸ್ಮರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅಣ್ಣವರ ಆದಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಾಬಾ ಅವರ ದಿವ್ಯ ಸಂದೇಶವಾಹಕರಾಗಿ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆದಿಯಾಗಿ ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ MLA ಅವರು, ಸಿಂಧಿಯಾ ಅವರು, ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೇಡಮ್ ಅವರ ಆದಿಯಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ, ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ parts of our country and all the divine dignitaries and the devotees who are present here. Just now our Honorable Minister for Primary and Secondary Education has addressed and spoke on different aspects of the education. You being the teachers, already being into education system and the teaching process, as far as the mundane education things are concerned, I don't think it is necessary to mention time and again. Institution like this, when it invites you all over you, instead of teaching time and again the same old science, mathematics, or departmental set syllabus or the education, maybe it is for the different kind of knowledge to be imparted. You are all invited here. As is mentioned in our ancient scriptures, the smallest definition which we can find essence out of it is sa vidya ya vimuktaye. This must be the smallest brief definition which must have been given by our ancestors. We, the teachers who are here should understand the basic substratum meaning of this statement, sa vidya ya vimuktaye. Our ancestors had considered this as the statement and this as the part of the education. Education is that which gives the emancipation from ignorance. Education is that which gives the salvation from all the bondages. But the kind of education which we have been imparting in the modern society, when we look at it, are we in line with this definition? We have to reflect upon that. Even after having learnt all the modern education with respect to science, mathematics, and the history, at the end of the day, when the problems would be bestowed mindfully or unmindfully upon us, will we be in a condition to solve those problems? Irrespective of the kind of education and the elevation in the modern society, if we fail to find a solution for all such problems of the life, we should think whether such a thing should be called as education or not. Doesn't mean that present day modern education should not be present in modern knowledge should not be imparted. That apart, if we can be able to imbibe, if we can be able to induce the spiritual education, moral education, ethical education in the minds of our children, those children are going to be asset to the modern developing society. At the same time, they are going to find solution for their problems and they are going to come up with solution for the societal problems also. As far as the teachers of the modern society are concerned, when they themselves are suffering to find solution for their own life's problem, do you think they are going to make solution for all our problems of the society? I don't think it is so. As our minister has mentioned quite rightly, this is need of an hour to find the inner essence of one's own being at individual level. Yadyadacharati shrestha tattadevetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokaha tadanuvartate. As a teacher, what we do, our students are going to do same thing. If the teacher is role model positively, student is going to develop positively and positive constructive society is going to be built up. When we look at the present day teachers, situation is not quite encouraging. This is the time wherein, along with the modern education, spiritual education should be imbibed. When I mention spiritual education, doesn't mean that it does belong to any particular religion. We are the people in the modern society, we have brought all the rotten things to the religion. Whatsoever may be the name of the religion, they are free from all these problems. Unfortunately, we have brought all the worst things into the religion, saying that if we speak something about the religion or the spirituality, people are going to think otherwise. According to me, spirituality to be instilled does mean Having the spirituality, going to the spirituality does mean that person is going to understand oneself. If our modern science is going to ensure the knowledge of the material world, spiritual knowledge is that, spiritual wisdom is that which is going to make us understand ourselves. Unfortunately, knowing not oneself or myself, we are trying to teach others. One who is going to learn what actually is, one who is going to understand mindfully in wholesome way what he is the one who can impart great knowledge to the students. Maybe it is in this perspective, this congregation of the teachers at the national level is organized. Understanding the reason why it is done, if we can able to come up with, then we can create new spiritual and scientific society with which our country is going to be considered and regarded at the global level. There is a statement, no country will rise beyond the level of its teachers. If you would like to measure the strength of the country, if you would like to understand the great future of any country, it is better to understand the strength of the teachers, those who are teaching inside the classrooms in the institutions. If teacher is inferior, if teacher is not moral, if he is not ethical, certainly good students or the good product of the society cannot be produced. It is because of that we should teach our teachers what actually is the first in the outset. Only after having understood what actually is, then if we let the teacher to teach our students, he is the one who is going to teach well in its real perspective. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಬುದ್ಧ during his evening discourse, as usual, he has started. Thousands and thousands of people were sitting in the hall. Even after 1 hour of his presence in the hall, he didn't utter single word. There were great scientists, philosophers, pandits, scholars. They were waiting to listen to Bhagavan Buddha, but he didn't speak anything for 1 hour. After 1 hour, Sariputta entered the hall and sat right in front row. Moment Sariputta came in, Sariputta looked at Buddha's face and smiled. Bhagavan Buddha acknowledged the smile of the Sariputta. Immediately after a while, both took leave of the hall. When Bhagavan Buddha started leaving the hall, devotees started asking him, now 1 ghante we are waiting here for last 1 hour with the zeal of listening to your discourse and the holy words, but you didn't seek anything. You were in absolute divine silence. But now after Sariputta came in, uttering not anything, you have been moving away. May I know the reason? Buddha said, it is not that I didn't speak anything for last 1 hour. I was speaking. When just Sariputta came in, I was about to concluding my speech. When Sariputta he understood the essence of the speech or the talk or the discourse which I uttered for last 1 hour. On understanding that, he smiled at me. After I understood that he understood what I spoke, I started moving out. Buddha was giving the discourse, the message in silence. Instead of speaking too much to the people, if we start emanating the knowledge to our students through our personality, through our great understanding, students are going to be asset to this country. First, teacher should be prepared. When teacher is ready, students will come to him and they are going to be molded, they are going to be produced in the real perspective. One great thing he has mentioned, our education minister has mentioned a great thing. Teachers should not stop learning process. Once we are graduated or trained up and assumed the place as a teacher in any institution, we will forget further learning and we will start rolling the system, understanding the students are there to listen whatever we speak. Such a thing should not happen. Today, generation gap is being diminished like anything. Students are becoming more knowledgeable than our teachers. They have been updating their knowledge. When students are coming into your institution in the classroom, if your knowledge is not updated regularly, students are going to look down upon you like anything. If such a thing should not happen, we have to update our knowledge. We should keep on learning. The learning process should be eternal. Only then you are going to be respected, you will be regarded, and you are going to be asset to the society. If not, it is not so. I had a anecdote. No, it's not an anecdote, rather it is incident which happened in the life of Thomas Alva Edison. ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಥಾಮಸ್ ಆಲ್ವಾ ಎಡಿಸನ್. After he delivered 1 hour discourse, 1 hour speech, when he was about to leave or the session was open for the interaction, one of the audience one of the students stood and asked Thomas Alva Edison, "Sir, you have been speaking so eloquently on different topics. May I know the reason how you have gained such a wonderful knowledge?" Thomas Alva Edison ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, the gained knowledge is not out of reading the books. Rather, whenever I would visit the institution, students are going to teach me, because of which I have gained so much of knowledge. Got it? We think that we are quite knowledgeable. We consider ourselves as great, that students should listen to us in all the way. But it should not be so. There are many students, those who are going to teach us. If you are quite open to listen to the students, then teacher is also going to become sublime. We should not look down upon the students. Our learning process should be continuous, that should be eternal. If our teachers are quite open for such kind of things, naturally, students' learning and teaching process will go hand in hand. Apart from all these things, this congregation, this conference is held to imbibe certain spirituality which you must not have come across. With the spirituality, if you go back to the students, if you go back to the institution, there you are going to understand those children in real way. Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhyah paramanaham. I have been quoting from Gita. Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhyah paramanaham. Manasastu pare buddhihi yo buddhehe parasastu sa. Now we have to understand, standing where we have been teaching, we have been training our children, whether it is at sensory organ level, or at the mental level, or at the intellectual level, or beyond. Quite unfortunately, we have not been going beyond mental level. All our education is being restricted and confined to the level of the mind. Sense objects are there, whatsoever may be their sublimity and the preciousness in the society, but they are not superior to your sense organs. As Lord Krishna has mentioned, sense organs are not superior to your mind. Mind is not superior to our intellect. Intellect is not superior to the soul or the inner essence of this world or myself. If we can be able to take our children to different dimensions of the personality or the existence, then you are going to be appreciated, you will be respected, and society is going to be evolved to a greater extent. If that is to happen, we should try to understand our inner being, our inner essence. One who is going to imbibe both spirituality, the inner essence, and the empirical aspect is the one who is going to be quite useful to the society as well as for the students. This congregation should teach you the spirituality, as well as already you have learnt physical aspect in this mundane world. If you can go to institution, if you can go to the society, with the blend of these two, you are going to become a great teacher. Albert Einstein, though he was a radical scientist, once he was asked, how come he became so famous? Albert Einstein said, it is not because of his read knowledge in the library became famous, rather something essence from his own inner self started flowing through him, because of which he became so famous, though he is oblivious of his own greatness. Got the point? As he has mentioned, our minister has mentioned, our modern science has bestowed all the best possible things. Our ancestors must not have felt, must not have experienced all the things which we have been doing. Those science and technology has bestowed all the things, still inside we have been feeling our poverty. It is not the economical poverty, It is not the social poverty, rather poverty of in our own self. There is so much a divide of our own personality. If you do not know what actually we are, don't you think that we are very poor people? It is because of that. Albert Einstein has mentioned again, our science can denature the plutonium, but it cannot change the wickedness of the human heart. Our science can change our science can change anything, but not the wickedness of the human heart. Then what is the solution? Swami Vivekananda says, so many problems are there in the universe, but solution is only one. It is to make each and every individual to understand his own divinity. Where is that divinity? Where is that potential essence? It is well within. Only after its realization, person can become quite useful to the society. Ultimate aim of a person is to find a peacefulness, tranquility, and the realization both at micro level and macro level. If that is to happen, as Dr. Kalam has mentioned, righteousness should be there in each and every one's heart. As he says, where there is righteousness, there will be a beauty in the character. If there is a beauty in the character, there will be a harmony in the home. If there is harmony, there will be order in the society. If there is order, ultimately peace is going to be bestowed by default spontaneously. If the peace is our ultimate aim, basic thing, substratum thing is the righteousness, which has been missing, though it is intrinsically hidden in each and every being. If we can be able to instill that righteousness in every being, which is already there, that will be greatest education, greatest contribution which we can give to our children. Lastly, spirituality should be part of our life. It is not that somewhere from elsewhere we have to bring into our personality. We should allow that to blossom from inside. Blossoming, when flower starts blossoming, it is not that it is going to be brought elsewhere. From inside it is going to blossom. Once that blossoming is started in the flower, fragrance is going to be pervaded on its own. Such a fragrance should be part of our life. If there is no fragrance in one's own life, even after it is blossomed like a flower, even after we are educated, what is the use of education? What is the use of blossoming of the flower? Let us be endowed and bestowed with the fragrance. Let us pray the Lord to bestow all such benign benedictions upon us, to blossom and to be pervaded with the fragrance for the best of many and for the benefit of the society. Once again remembering and praying Bhagavan Sai Baba, who had great affection and love towards our Puja Guruji as well as towards our Adichingi Sansthan Mat. Several times we met in earlier occasion when he was in physical cage. Though he is not physically present, doesn't mean that he is not here. Again I repeat, energy neither be created nor be destroyed. We are all energy. Energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to other form. When that unmanifested energy will come into existence through manifestation, then through sensory organs we are going to identify. A real person is going to feel the existence of that divine presence even beyond that, even without the help of sensory organs. If you keep aside all our sensory organs, even then if you can be able to experience that divine existence, energy, even now, at this moment, we can experience, we can feel the presence of Baba and many such great gurus. Praying all such great gurus to bestow all the best possible benign benedictions and the blessings upon one and all, I conclude my words. Jai Shri Gurudev.
ಹೃದಯ ಸ್ಪರ್ಶಿ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿಯುತ ಆಶೀರ್ವಚನವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯವರ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ರೂಪವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಬೇಕು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಿರಿಯ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳಾದಂಥ ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಸದಸ್ಯರಾಗಿ ಈಗ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾ ಸದಸ್ಯರಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸರಳ ಸಜ್ಜನಿಕೆಯ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಬಸವರಾಜ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಸೇಡಂ ಅವರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ.
ಮುದ್ದೇನಹಳ್ಳಿಯ ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಪರಿಸರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟಿಗಳೇ, ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಘನ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳೇ ಮತ್ತು ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಸೀನರಾದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯರೇ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಮಟ್ಟದ 3 ದಿನಗಳ ವಿಶೇಷ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳೇ, ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಧರ್ಮದ ಅಧಿಪತಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾನಂದ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಆಶೀರ್ವಚನ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಸೇವಕ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಳಿತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗುರುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ 3 ದಿನಗಳ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾನಸಿಕತೆಯ ರೂಪ ಹೇಗೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಭಾವನೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ, ದುರ್ದೈವದಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಪಾಠ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಂದರು ಮೊದಲೇ ನಿರ್ಣಯ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನನ್ನ ಮಗು ಹೀಗಾಗಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಸರಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಅಂಕ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತವಾದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲದ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಿತ್ರವಾದಂಥ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಅಂಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಅವರನ್ನು ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಅರಳಿಸಿ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಸುಗಂಧ ಕೊಡುವಂತೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇದೊಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಮುಂದೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಭಯಾನಕವಾದಂಥ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎರಡನೇದಾಗಿ, ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ 10 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಂವಾದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 3 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಪಾಲಕರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನು ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಮಟ್ಟದವರೆಗೆ ಓದ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, IAS ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ನೀವು ಪಿಂಜರದ ಗಿಳಿಯಾಗಬೇಕಂತೀರಾ, ಆಕಾಶದ ಹಕ್ಕಿ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನಾವು ಆಕಾಶದ ಹಕ್ಕಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಎರಡನೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, 18 ವರ್ಷ ದಾಟಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಶರೀರ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುವುದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇಡುವುದಕ್ಕಾಗಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಕೊಡುವವರಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆದರೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ನೋವಿನ ಸಂಗತಿ, ದುಃಖದ ಸಂಗತಿ, ಸಿಗಲಾರದಂಥ ವಸ್ತುವಿನ ಹಿಂದೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಂದಿರು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ದೂಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದೀಗ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಹೇಳಿದಂತೆ ತಥಾಕಥಿತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಟಾಟಾ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿಯವರು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 100ಕ್ಕೆ 97 ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಓದು ಮುಗಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೌಕರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಸತ್ಯ ಸಂಗತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರತಿ 100 ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 8 ಜನರಿಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜನರಿಗೆ ನೌಕರಿ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದು ಸಿಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ದೂಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಭಯಾನಕವಾದ ಸಂಕಟ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ನು 3 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದೇಶ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಯುವಕರನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ದೇಶ ಆಗದಿದೆ. ದಿ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಯೂತ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ 60 and 40 in 2020. ಅಂಥ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೇಗೆ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಈಗ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ 2,70,000 ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀಟುಗಳು ಖಾಲಿ ಇವೆ. ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟಾಗಿವೆ. ಆದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಾನಗರವೊಂದನ್ನು ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ 100ಕ್ಕೆ 40ರಷ್ಟು ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಗಳು ಸಹ ಒಂದು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಹುದೊಡ್ಡ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ. 2,70,000 ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಓದ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಹಾಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ವಿನಂತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಂದಿರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾರವನ್ನು ಅವರೇ ಆದಂಥ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಾಮೂಹಿಕ ಪರಿವಾರ ಹೋಗಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಪರಿವಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿರುವುದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಶಾಲೆಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಗುರುತರವಾದಂಥ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ಈ ಮಾನಸಿಕತೆಯನ್ನು ನೀವು ಸರಿದೂಗಿಸಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ ವಾಸ್ತವಿಕತೆ ಅರಿವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬಾರದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾರನೇ ವರ್ಷ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೊರಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಹೀಗೇನೆ ನಡೆದರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಯುವಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಹ ಈ ದೇಶ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ದರಿದ್ರ ದೇಶ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಭಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕನ್ನು ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕೊಡುವುದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಗಿವ್ ದಿ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಟು ಫೇಸ್ ದಿ ಲೈಫ್, ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟು ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಸಮಯ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುವುದರಿಂದ ನಾನು ವಿಸ್ತೃತವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಪಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಟುಡೇ ಐಕಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. ಆದರೆ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಯವರು BA ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಪಾಸಾಗಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಒಟ್ಟು 6 ಸಲ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಈ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಜನರ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯನ್ನು ಗಳಿಸಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಬರೀ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆದರೆ ಗಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ತನ್ನ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮದ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯವಾದಂಥ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ, ಎತ್ತರದ ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅವನು ಈ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯ ರಹಸ್ಯವನ್ನು ಭೇದಿಸಿ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಉಪಕಾರಿಯಾಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅಂಥ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆನಾ? ಈ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಈ 3 ದಿವಸದ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ವಿನಂತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಕಳವಳದ ಸಂಗತಿ, ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಈಗ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ತಿರಸ್ಕೃತವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದೊಂದು ಅನಾಥ ಶಿಶುವಾಗಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಇದು ಕೇವಲ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲ, ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ 8 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಾಲೆಗಳನ್ನೇ ಬಂದಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತವೇನೋ ಅನ್ನುವ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಭಯದ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಎಂಥ ದುರಂತ! ನನಗೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ನನ್ನ ಭಾಷೆ, ನನಗೆ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದಂಥ ಭಾಷೆ, ಮಗುವಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗಿರುವ ನನ್ನ ತೊದಲು ನುಡಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ತಿರಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ವಿಚಿತ್ರವಾದ ಸುಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಬಹಳ ನೋವಿನ ಸಂಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನಡೆಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಇಂಥ ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನಕ್ಕಾಗಿ 40 ವರ್ಷಗಳವರೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಶಾಲೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ನಮ್ಮೂರಿನ 90% ಜನ ಮೊದಲು ಯಾರು ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರೋ ಈಗ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಶಾಲೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. ಆದರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಒಳಗೆ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಳಕಳಿಯ ವಿನಂತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಭಯದಿಂದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ. ಗಣಿತ ಬಹಳ ಕಠಿಣ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ ಬಹಳ ಕಠಿಣ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಪುಟ್ ದೆಮ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಆನ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ತೊಗೋದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ತೊಗೋದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಥ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಸಿಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಭಯ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಮಗುವನ್ನು ದುರ್ಬಲವಾಗಿ ಹೇಡಿಯನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಫ್ರೀ ಮೈಂಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಇದು ನನ್ನ ವಿನಂತಿ. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತಿಗೆ ವಿರಾಮ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಯಚೂರು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೋತಿಗುಡ್ಡ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಇದೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 34 ಮನೆಗಳಿವೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ರಮೇಶ್ ಬಲೀದ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕುರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಎಮ್ಮೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಯ್ಕೊಂಡು ತನ್ನ 16ನೇ ವರ್ಷದವರೆಗೆ ಬದುಕನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯವರು ಬಂದು, ಅಪ್ಪ ನಿನಗೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೊಯ್ದು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ನಾನು ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನೇಕೆ ಬರಲಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರ ತಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳ್ದ, ಅಣ್ಣ ನಾನು ಶಾಲೆ ಕಲ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಕಾಲಿತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಹೋಗು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ನೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು, HHH ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಜೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಆ ಹುಡುಗ ಬಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ, ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಆ ಹುಡುಗ ಟ್ರೈನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಳಿತ, ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಭವ್ಯವಾದ ನಗರವನ್ನು 4 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಗರವನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ದ. ಆದರೆ 6 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಹುಡುಗ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಮೇಧಾವಿಯಾದ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದ 2 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದ 3 ಲಕ್ಷ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ, ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಿಗೆ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ರಮೇಶ್ ಬಲೀದ್. ಕೇವಲ 6 ತಿಂಗಳ ಪಾಠವನ್ನು ಕಲಿತು. ನನ್ನ ತಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಯ್ತು. ಏನಿದು, ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗದೆ ಇವನು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏಕೆ ಶಾಣೆ ಆದ ಅಂತ. ಹೀಗೆ ಗುಟ್ಟನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಸತ್ಯ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾರಣ ಏನಂತಂದರೆ, ಉಳಿದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಯಾರು ಹುಡ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಮನೆಗ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಬರೀತಾಳೆ, ಮಗ ನೀನು ಇದು ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಮಗು ನೀ ಅದಾಗಬೇಡ, ನೀ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮವ್ವ ನಿಮ್ಮಪ್ಪಗೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಶಾಲೆ ಕಲಿ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಸ್ತರ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಟೀಚರ್ ಆಗಿರ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಗಣಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಅಂಕ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಗಣಿತ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು MA ಮಾಡು, MSc ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಅಂಕ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀನು ಭಾಷಾಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರವೀಣಾಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇರುವುದು ಒಂದು ಮಗು. ಆ ಮಗುವಿನ ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೆಯುವವರು 10 ಜನ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಆ ಮಗು ಸಂಕಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೊಂತು. ಒಂದೇ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ 10 ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ಓದಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ರಮೇಶ್ ಬಲೀದ್ ಇಷ್ಟು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ನಾದ್ರಂದರೆ, ಅವನು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಅವನು ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರೂ ಬರದೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಮ್ಮನೂ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಪ್ಪನೂ ಬರೆದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಯಿ ಮುತ್ಯ ಬರೆಯುವ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಗುರುಗಳಂತೂ ಹೇಳುವ ಮಾತೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮಿನಲ್ಲಿ 6 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಈಗೇನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಫೋನ್ಗಳು ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೇನು ಫೋಟೋ ತೆಗಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಹಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ. 6 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ರತಿಮವಾದಂಥ ಮೇಧಾವಿಯಾದ. ಫ್ರೀ ಮೈಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ದೆನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಎಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಥೀಮ್. ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಜೀವಂತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಟಾಟಾ ಕಂಪನಿಯವರು 50,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನೌಕರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಿನಗೆ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಂದರು, ನಾನು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನನ್ನ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳಿದಾಳೆ, ನೀನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಊರಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತೇಳಿ. ಅವನ ಊರು ಹೆಡ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 10 ದಿವಸ ಬೇರೆ ಊರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಉಳಿದ ಜೀವನ ತನ್ನ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯಿಂದ ಗುಡಿಸಿಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಗುರುಗಳ ಮುಂದೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಒಂದು, ನೀವು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುತ್ತಿಗೆಗೆ ಚೂರಿ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳ ಕನಸು. ಆದರೆ ಆ ಮಗು ಅನಾಥವಾದಂಥ ಮಗು ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಒತ್ತಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೊಂಡು ನಾ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ತನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಳೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹುಚ್ಚನಂತೆ ಅಂಕಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಭಯದ ವಾತಾವರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದರೆ ಈ ಮಗು ದೇಶದ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ತಾವಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದಂತೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಗುರುಗಳ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದದಿಂದ, ಈ ಪವಿತ್ರ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಪವಿತ್ರ ವಾತಾವರಣದಿಂದ ಈ 3 ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಗುರುಗಳಾಗಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಕೊಡಿ. ಅದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಮಹತ್ವವಾದಂಥ ಸಂಪತ್ತು. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುವುದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸಿ, ಬೇಡುವುದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸಬೇಡಿ. ಇದು ಜೀವನದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಯವಾಗಬೇಕು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಎತ್ತರದ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ದೊಡ್ಡವರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಕಾಶ್ ಕಿ ಪಂಕ್ಷಿ ಬನ್ನ. ನಾನು IAS ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಹೀಗೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ದರು 1600 ಜನ ಹಾಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ದೆಹಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗುರಿ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ IAS ಅಂತ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ರು. ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಆಪ್ ಇತನೆ ಲೋಗ್ ಹಾತ್ ಉಠಾಯೆ ಹೇ ಲೇಕಿನ್ ಆಪ್ ಮೇ ಸೆ ಕೇವಲ್ 5 ಪಾಸ್ ಹೋಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇದು ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಂದ ನಾನು ಭರವಸೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡೆ. ನಾ ಸತ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಕಲ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನನಗೆ ಹೊಡೆಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, IAS पास होना पिंजरे की पंछी है, IAS अगर फेल होकर जीवन को फेस करना ये आकाश की पंछी है. अब बताओ, आप आकाश की पंछी बनना चाहते हो, पिंजरे की पंछी बनना चाहते हो? ಇವತ್ತು IAS ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಸರು ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಆದರೂ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಬಹುದಾ? ICS ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ಒದ್ದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನೇತಾಜಿ ಸುಭಾಷ್ ಚಂದ್ರ ಬೋಸ್, ಯೋಗಿ ಅರವಿಂದರು ಇವತ್ತು ದೇಶ ಮತ್ತು ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಪರಿಚಿತರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರೂ ನೌಕರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಯಾರೂ ಅವ್ರ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಓದ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂತರಿಕ ಶಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕುವ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯಾದಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಗುರುಗಳ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಾಗಿ ಬಂದೀವಿ. 3ನೇ ದಿವಸ ರಾತ್ರಿ ನೀವು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಗುರುಗಳಾಗಿ ಹೋದರೆ ಈ ಶಿಬಿರ, ಈ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಶಿಬಿರ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ಮಾತಿಗೆ ವಿರಾಮ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಂದಿಸಿ.
ತಮ್ಮ ಮನದಾಳದ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಂಡಂಥ ಹಿರಿಯರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಬಸವರಾಜ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಸೇಡಂ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯವರ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ರೂಪವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
We also have in our midst Shri PGR Sindhya, who will be addressing us over the course of the next 3 days. We have Dr. Sudhakar, we also have Father Charles Ogada, luminaries, and we would like to extend our gratitude to all of them for their presence here today. Shri PGR Sindhya, the former professor turned politician, Dr. Sudhakar. Father Charles Ogada.
ಪರಮಪೂಜ್ಯರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ BN ನರಸಿಂಹಮೂರ್ತಿಯವರು, ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾಗಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅಣ್ಣನವರು 18 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಅವಿರತವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯವರ ಅಡಿದಾವರೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತಾವು ಅರ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಆದರ್ಶ ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದೇಶ ವಿದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯವರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಕ್ತರನ್ನು, ಯುವಕರನ್ನು ಹುರಿದುಂಬಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಮಾತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಿಜವಾದ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಹೃದಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಶವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಣ್ಣ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಭಾಗ್ಯ. ಅವರ ಮಾತನ್ನು ತಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತಾ, ಪೂಜ್ಯರಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅಣ್ಣವರನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಈಗ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ವಿನಯಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
offering my loving salutations at the lotus feet of our most beloved Divine Master, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Pranams at the feet of Swami Nirmalanandaji, Honorable Minister, esteemed dignitaries on the stage and off the stage, very dear brothers and sisters, very esteemed delegates to the conference. You have already heard three very instructive, enlightening, and impactful talks. Honorable Minister for Education touched upon all the aspects of education. There was no aspect which he did not touch upon. And also he expressed his views with great clarity and also conviction. Swamiji spoke of synthesis of computer and culture. Just because today we teach science and technology, we need not have to forget about our ancient culture. That is what he said. He also reminded us of the importance of imparting spiritual and moral education along with academic education. Very elderly friend and also a very well-known, reputed political leader of North Karnataka, known to be another Basavanna come again. He spoke of the tragedy of modern education, and he also said the most important thing that we have to impart to the students is self-confidence. That's what he said. Here I would like to just remember an incident that happened in the life of a student of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba about 2 decades before. This boy was born in a very poor family in Andhra Pradesh, and because Bhagavan Baba gave free education in all his schools and colleges, he could join his school and also college. Honorable Minister pointed out a dangerous polarization that is happening in the society today. Poor children going to government schools and rich children going to private schools. It is a very dangerous polarization. ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಧ್ರುವೀಕರಣ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲೇ ದುರಂತಕ್ಕೆ ನಾಂದಿ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. But what Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba did, he removed this problem and dichotomy by removing all kinds of fees in his schools and colleges. He gave and is giving. And today in Karnataka, 5,000 boys and girls in 14 educational campuses spread over 9 districts are getting completely free education. By doing it, what did he do? He threw open the opportunity for right kind of education to all sections of society, irrespective of their caste, creed, or religion. See, that is very, very important. This boy who studied in Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba schools and then colleges, he came out with flying colors with an M.Tech in computer science. And he was called for an interview by a very prestigious international, multinational company, and he was to be interviewed. The managing director of the company was there chairing that interview board, and there were many learned people on the interview board. And as the boy entered, he was standing, and he produced his certificates, and he gave his certificates to the managing director. The managing director went through the certificates. He found out that he was a student of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and this managing director, not being aware of much about Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and his philosophy of education and his system of education, he asked this boy a question. He just asked him, I have heard that Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba materialized many gifts like rings, watches, necklaces, and gave it to everybody. And you have been a student of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba in his schools and colleges. What did he give you? This is the question. This boy had not received anything material from Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Very humbly he submitted, "Sir, I come from a very poor family in a village, and today I am speaking with conviction, courage, and dignity to an honorable person like you. What Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba gave me is self-confidence to stand on my feet and speak to everybody only the truth and truth and truth alone." That is what he said. This is what Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba did. Honorable Education Minister is here. I would like to submit to him. This year, for 600 seats to be newly admitted in all our educational institutions, only in Karnataka, in 27 schools and colleges, in 14 educational campuses in the 9 districts, we received 7,000 applications. 6,500 boys and girls wrote the examination. And the policy for admission, which was given to us by the inspiration of Bhagwan and by his direct command, the first preference was given to rural poor children who studied in government schools in villages. It is only Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, his compassionate heart, who thinks of the poor people, whether they are rural or urban. The first preference was given to them. And Baba said, don't take more than 30 students, boys or girls, in any school, because we are going to take students from rural areas, poor children, and they are going to stay in the hostels because our system of education is completely residential. Many of them did not know how to brush their teeth. They don't know how to how to put on clothes. Therefore, you take only 30 students. Each boy is my child. That is what Baba told us. You have to treat that child as you treat me. And many times, devotees of Baba, who are also here from many parts of the world, they tell Baba, "Baba, we love you." And what Baba tells them is, love each other. That is more difficult. Loving me is very easy because I am faultless. But loving each other is very important. These are the fundamental lessons of life which are incorporated in the philosophy of integral education of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and all the educational institutions that he has established not only in Karnataka, all over the country and in many countries of the world. Why all this? All of us know Baba gave up his physical body in 2011. But after that, by Baba's inspiration and direct command, 10 new educational campuses have come up in corners, rural regions of Karnataka. Why all this? Here I would like to just quote Mahayogi Sri Aurobindo in a very inspiring discourse, his last discourse on the soil of India in 1908, before he fled to Pondicherry to devote himself to a life of spiritual pursuit. In Uttarapara, after he was acquitted in the Alipur bomb case, and many of the leaders here and many of the elders here would know, the great Deshabandhu Chittaranjan Das argued for him, and he was acquitted. And what did he say? I just want to quote only one sentence. In 1908, he said, within a few decades, our country is going to win political freedom. There is no doubt about it. But if you want to revive the ancient glory of Bharat, our motherland, it will never be possible unless we bring in the Gurukula system of education in our country. That is what he said. What is this Gurukula system of education? And Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba always stressed the soul of education is the education of the soul. And today, in a system which is soulless, and it is considered to be a blasphemy to speak about God, religion, and spirituality in schools and colleges. In this situation, Baba put in the soul back into the soulless system of education. And in order to revive Indian culture, not only for India, Indian culture is needed for the whole world. That is what Professor Max Muller, the German philosopher, the first one to translate Sanskrit into a foreign language, said, if India lives, who dies? If India dies, who lives? The Indian culture. What is this Indian culture? Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaevabhut vijanataha tatra ko shokaha ko mohaha ekatvam anupashyataha, says Mundaka and Isavasya Upanishad. What does it mean? This is the fundamental essence and the basis of Indian culture. A person who looks upon not only men and women, but all creatures as himself, Atmaya Vabhut Vijanataha, he will not have any grief, he will not have any attachment, and he had experienced the unity of all existence. So that is the fundamental basis of Indian culture. India does not stand for India alone. India stands for whole of humanity. The soul of India is the spiritual culture of India. And that is why Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba has been establishing even now so many educational institutions. He has already declared to the world, in the next 10 years, we are going to have 30 educational campuses in each and every district of Karnataka, 10 colleges, first grade colleges, and 10 pre-university colleges in the 5 zones of Karnataka, 5 for boys, 5 for girls, because Baba's system of education does not advocate co-education, separate campuses for both, in order to revive this glorious Indian culture and give a chance, an opportunity, not only for Indians, for the people of all the world to live like human beings. Before you become a great engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant, you have to, or a teacher or a professor or a scientist, you have to become a good human being. That is what Baba has been teaching. And as Swamiji pointed out, Baba is still with us. Great divine personalities, prophets, messiahs, divine incarnations, they are only born, they will never die. If Sri Rama, we thought he had died, we would not build temples for him. If we think Jesus is dead and gone, why there are so many temples for Jesus all over the world? So also in all the religions, any divine personality is only born and he does not die with the disappearance of the physical form. His divine presence is already there, and Swamiji very rightly pointed out, because he is highly intuitive, spiritually elevated, and absolutely heart is pure. He can feel the presence of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is here, and also many of the devotees here. The teachers who have come here, in the words of Basuraj Patil, I would like to tell you, you have come as teachers, go out as gurus. A teacher teaches only Jivanopadi Vidya, a Vidya education which helps you to earn your livelihood, but a guru teaches both Jivanopati Vidya and Jivita Paramavadi Vidya. Jivita Paramavadi Vidya is, as was very rightly pointed out by Nirmananda Swamiji, it is self-realization, realizing our own divinity, realizing the truth that I am divine. That is the purpose of this conference. And Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is here, and he is going to convey his message. And for devotees who have been here as observers, it is nothing strange. But for those who have come here for the first time, you may feel it is strange, but this is absolutely not strange. Aurobindo said when he was in the prison in Kolkata, Swami Vivekananda had passed away long before. He appeared and spoke to him and gave him a direction to his life. Divine personalities do speak to us if you keep our spiritual antenna in the right position. And it is our good fortune that Baba is here today, and Baba is going to speak to us through his very chosen vehicle and communicator, our brilliant and noble old student alumnus, Madhusudan Naidu. I conclude and pray to Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba to give us his benedictory discourse in this inaugural function of the 3-day National Teachers Conference. Thank you.
Om Shri Sai Ram. As we pray to Bhagwan to grant his message, I perceive him seated here in an ochre robe, and I repeat as he speaks.
ನಾವು ಭಗವಾನ್ ಬಾಬಾರವರ ದಿವ್ಯ ಸಂದೇಶಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಭಗವಾನ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಬಾಬಾರವರು ಈ ಸಿಂಹಾಸನದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾವಿ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ನಿಲುವಂಗಿಯನ್ನು ತೊಟ್ಟು ಕುಳಿತಿರುವುದನ್ನು ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅವರು ನಿಮಗಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಪುನರುಚ್ಚಾರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ಖಂಡ ಖಂಡಾಂತರ ಖ್ಯಾತಿನಾರ್ಜಿಂಚಿಯು ಮಹನೀయులను కన్నా మాతృభూమి.
This motherland of ours is a sacred land which has given birth to many great noble souls who have won intercontinental fame and reputation.
పాశ్చాత్య వీరుల పారద్రోలించియు స్వాతంత్ర్యమును కన్నా సమరభూమి.
This land is a land of great battle which has given birth to many men and women of valor who fought with the foreigners and threw them out to gain independence.
సంగీత సాహిత్య శాస్త్రీయ విద్యలో ధీశక్తి చూపిన దివ్య భూమి.
This is a divine land which gave birth to great luminaries in the fields of art, music, dance and literature.
చిత్రకళలతోడ చిత్రమై ఉన్నట్టి భరత భూమి యందు జననమొంది భరతమాత ధర్మభాగ్యంబు కాపాడుట బాధ్యత ఎంతయు మీదే ఆచార్యులారా, విద్యార్థులారా.
Being born in this great land which is the embodiment of all that is noble and good, it is your responsibilities, O teachers, to safeguard the mansion of dharma which is the basis of glorious motherland, Bharat.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులైన విద్యార్థినులారా, అధ్యాపకులారా, సభగణ్యులారా.
Embodiments of divine love, teachers, men and women, and dignitaries and devotees.
భారత అనేటటి పదమేందు ఈ దేశం యొక్క సంస్కృతి సారము కూడి ఉన్నది.
In the very word Bharat, the very essence of the glorious culture of this great land is ensconced.
భారత అనగా భగవంతుడిలో రచించేవాళ్ళే భారతీయులు.
Bharata means one who revels in the divine joy of God.
భగవంతుడు అనేటి వానికి ఈ యొక్క రూపము, నామము, ప్రదేశము అనేటటిది లేదు.
God does not have any form, he does not have any limitation of space, time and causation.
చావు పుట్టక లేనట్టు శాశ్వతుండు.
He is the eternal one without birth and death.
ఆది మధ్యాంతరహితుడు, అనాదివాడు.
He is the ancient one, does not have a beginning, does not have an end, does not have anything called middle.
తాను చావు పుట్టక చంపబడక ఆత్మరూపుడై తానడే అలరి ఉండు.
He is neither born nor dies, and in the form of the Atma, he resides in every being.
అనగా భారతీయ యొక్క సంస్కృతి ఆధారమే భగవద్ ప్రీతి.
The basis of Indian culture is love for God.
ధర్మము, ఆధ్యాత్మిక లోపల ఉండే వ్యత్యాసము గురించి స్వామివారు చక్కగా చెప్పినాడు.
The Swamiji very correctly explained what is the difference between spirituality and religion.
టీచర్స్ వాళ్ళకి చక్కగా అర్థమయ్యేటట్టు ఒక చిన్న ఉదాహరణ.
In order to make it absolutely clear to the teachers, I would like to give a very small example.
స్కూల్ లోపల పాఠం చెప్పినప్పుడు ఏదో ఒక భాష వాడుకుంటూ ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియము, కన్నడ మీడియము, తెలుగు మీడియము, మలయాళం మీడియం అనేటువంటి భాషల ద్వారా మనము పాఠాలు చెప్తున్నాము.
When we teach in the classrooms, we utilize some medium of some language like English, Kannada, Telugu or Malayalam or Hindi.
ఆ విధముగానే ప్రతి ఒక్క స్కూలుకు తగినట్టు ఒక యూనిఫాము, సమయసారిని, రూల్స్ రెగ్యులేషన్స్ అనేటటువంటివి చేరి ఉన్నాయి.
Similarly, for every school, there are some rules and regulations and a kind of uniform that all the students should wear.
ఆ స్కూల్లో మనము చేసిన పనులు, గతివిధులు, కార్యక్రమాలన్నీ కూడా కొంత వ్యత్యాసంతో ఉండవచ్చు.
When you compare different educational institutions, there may be a difference in the uniforms and the kind of rules and regulations to some extent.
కానీ నేర్పించుంటున్న విద్య ఒక్కటే.
But the kind of syllabus which is taught in all the schools is
ఇంగ్లీష్
one and
మీడియం
the same.
స్కూల్లో చెప్పిన, తెలుగు మీడియంలో స్కూల్ చెప్పిన, కన్నడలో చెప్పిన సూర్యుడు పూర్వంలో ఉదయిస్తున్నాడు, పశ్చిమంలో అస్తమవుతున్నాడే చెప్తారే కానీ వేరేది కాదు.
Whether you teach in English medium or Telugu medium or Kannada medium, in all classes what you are going to teach is that sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
ఇంగ్లీష్లో చెప్పినప్పుడు ఈస్ట్ వెస్ట్ అని మనం పదములు వాడుకుంటాము, హిందీలో అంటాము. ఆ విధంగా పదములు వేరే కానీ నిరూపిస్తున్న సత్యం ఒక్కటే.
When we teach in English language, you use the word like west and east, and when you teach in Hindi, you say Purab or Paschim.
సూర్యుడిని సన్ అనగా, భాస్కరుడు అనగా, సూరజ్ అనగా ఏ విధంగా పిలిచినా తత్వంబు ఒక్కటే.
You call him sun in English language, Suraj in Hindi, Surya in Kannada, but the principle is one and the same.
ఆ విధంగానే ధర్మములన్నీ కూడా ఒక వేరే వేరే విధమైన పాఠశాల లాంటివి, కానీ నేర్పించిన పాఠము భగవంతుడు అనేటువంటి.
Similarly, religions are like different schools, but the teachings of all religions are one and the same.
వాళ్ళ ప్రార్థన పద్ధతులు వేరు కావచ్చు.
The prayers and procedures may be different.
వాళ్ళ కేశ వేష భూషము వేరే కావచ్చు.
Their dresses and apparel might be different.
వారి భాష భూష అన్నిటివి కూడా వేరేవి కావచ్చు, కానీ నేర్పించుతున్న ఆత్మతత్వంబు, భగవతత్వంబు ఒకటే.
Their languages may be different, customs may be different, rites may be different, but only one thing is taught about the divine principle.
ఇటువంటి ఒక సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించి అనాది మునులు సనాతనమైన సమయం నుంచి ఏకోహం బహుశ్యాం, ఏకం కలువిదం బ్రహ్మ, ఏకం సత్ విప్రాహ బహుధా వదంతి అనేటటిది ఇది ఒక్కటే కానీ వేరే వేరే రూపంలో మనకు కనబడుతున్నది అనేటి సత్యాన్ని ప్రబోధిస్తూ వచ్చారు.
In Indian culture, based on this truth of unity of all existence, they spoke it in different ways, saying, I am one, I have become many. There is only one truth, the same truth is expounded differently by different scholars.
కాబట్టి ఈ టీచర్స్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్కి మీరందరూ వచ్చినది ఒక టీచింగ్ పద్ధతులు, సృజనాత్మకమైన ఒక శైలి, ఒక వివరణ మాత్రము కాకుండా ఈ పరమ సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించడం కూడా అవసరము.
You have been participating in this teachers conference not only to enhance your teaching skills or creative skills, but most important is to recognize this particular truth.
ఇటువంటి ఒక సత్యాన్ని మనం ప్రబోధించినప్పుడే పిల్లల లోపల ఆత్మవిశ్వాసం అనేటువంటిది వస్తుంది.
Only when you teach these children about the truth, they will develop true self-confidence.
ఆత్మ విశ్వాసము, ఆత్మలో ఉండే విశ్వాసమే ఆత్మవిశ్వాసము.
Atma Vishwasa means confidence in the self.
నేను ఈ దేహము, నేను ఒక మనస్సు, నేను ఒక బుద్ధి మాత్రం అనుకుంటే ఈ విశ్వాసం రాదు.
When a man thinks or a student thinks that he is only the body mind complex along with intelligence, he will never develop this kind of
ఎందుకంటే
confidence.
దేశకాల పరిస్థితి నిమిత్తమై ఇవి మారుస్తూ ఉంటాయి.
Because the body and mind keep changing depending on time and space.
అనగా ఆత్మలోపల ఉండే విశ్వాసం వల్లనే మనకు నిజమైన ఆత్మవిశ్వాసం దొరుకుతుంది.
Only when we believe and develop faith in the divine principle which is ourselves, we will really develop
కాబట్టి
self-confidence.
ఈనాటి దినం లోపల విద్య సంస్థలందు ఒక లౌకికమైన విద్య కాకుండా ఆధ్యాత్మిక విద్యను మనం అందించటము చాలా అవసరము.
Therefore, even in modern times, in all the educational institutions, we just teach them only material education. It is not enough. We have to give them spiritual education also.
దాన్నే పురస్కరించి ఆత్మ విద్యా విద్యానాం.
That is what, depending on this, it has been said that Lord himself declared, among all types of education, I am the education of the soul, or the Atma Vidya.
ఈ భారతీయ సంస్కృతికి మూలాధారమైనటువంటి 3 విధమైనవి మనం నేర్చుకోవాలా.
For Indian culture, there are 3 fundamentals which we should know.
మొట్టమొదటిది దైవ ప్రీతి,
The first is love for God.
రెండవది పాప భీతి,
The second is fear of sin.
మూడవది సంఘనీతి.
Third is morality in society.
ఈ ఆధునిక యుగంలో జరుగుతున్న దురంతరములకు కారణం ఏమిటనగా ఈ దైవ ప్రీతి కరిగిపోవటమే.
If you ask the question why there is so much of tragedy all over the world, the simple reason is love for God is vanishing.
పాప భీతి కోల్పోవటమే.
And people have lost fear of sin.
ఇంకా సంఘనీతి తరిగిపోవటమే.
And morality of society is totally disappearing.
కానీ అన్ని విధములుగా చూసినప్పుడు, ఎన్నో ఇటువంటి కాన్ఫరెన్స్ చేసినప్పుడు మొరాలిటీ కావాలని అందరు చెప్తున్నారే కానీ ఏ విధంగా దాన్ని చేయాలని విచారించటం లేదు.
We arrange many conferences all over the country, all over the world. We discuss, and people talk about enhancing the moral content in society, moral fabric of society. But how we do it, nobody knows.
ఈ మొరాలిటీ రావాలంటే మొట్టమొదటి దైవ విశ్వాసము, దైవ ప్రీతి అవసరము.
If you want to really develop inherent moral strength, faith in God, faith in divinity is
అందరి
very
మనవాలు,
important.
అందరి లోపల ఆత్మరూపుడుగా ఉండే భగవంతుడే మనము చూస్తున్నాము, ఆయన కోసమే మనము చేస్తున్నాం అనేటువంటి విశ్వాసం లేకుండాప్పుడు మనం ఇటువంటి ఒక దురంతరంలో చేరుకుంటాం.
When we don't have the faith in God, and also the faith that it is the God and the one and the same divinity which shines forth in every being, then naturally our life will become a tragedy.
ఇటువంటి ఒక విశాలమైన మనోభావం పెంచుకోవాలనుకుంటే, అందరి మనవాలు గావించుకోవాలనుకుంటే దైవ ప్రీతి, దైవ విశ్వాసం అనేటువంటి పునాది మొట్టమొదటి మనము శిక్షణ సంస్థ లోపల చేర్చుకోవాలి.
If you have to develop the broad-mindedness that everybody belongs to us, we need to develop fundamentally faith in God.
శాంతి అంతరించే, సత్యంబు కరువయ్యే, ఆయుధముల భీతి అధికమయ్యే, ఈ దురంతరములకు హేతువు స్వార్థమే ఉన్నమాట తెలుపుచున్నమాట.
Peace has vanished from the earth, and the truth is decreasing day by day, and the fear of weapons is increasing. The simple root cause for all this is human selfishness.
ఈ సెల్ఫిష్నెస్ మనం పోగొట్టుకొని సెల్ఫ్లెస్ అనేటువంటి విశాలమైన మనోభావాలు పెంచుకోవాలంటే విద్య దానికి చాలా అవసరం.
If we have to get rid of selfishness from our hearts and develop selflessness, right kind of education is very important.
ఈ సెల్ఫ్లెస్ అనేటువంటిది చెప్తే మాత్రం వాళ్ళు నేర్చుకోరు.
Just because you tell them about selflessness, children are not going to learn
కానీ
from
మీ
you.
యొక్క ఆచరణం ద్వారా, పవిత్రమైన ప్రేమ ద్వారా వాళ్ళని నిస్వార్థంగా మీరు పెంచితే మాత్రమే వాళ్ళు ఇది నేర్చుకుంటారు.
Only if you yourself practice that kind of selflessness and manifest selfless and pure love, the children will easily learn from you.
కాబట్టి వాళ్ళకు చెప్పినట్టు యద్యదాచరతి శ్రేష్ఠ, మీరు ఏ విధంగా ఆచరిస్తున్నారో ఆ విధంగా వాళ్ళు అనుసరిస్తారు.
As Swamiji said, as we, the teachers, conduct ourselves, children will also conduct on the same way.
కాబట్టి విచారము, ప్రచారము కాదు కానీ ఆచారము ద్వారా మనము వాళ్ళు నేర్పించినప్పుడే ఆచార్యులుగా మనము భావించుకుంటాము.
Just by talking, giving lectures, we are not going to inculcate such good qualities. Only when we practice these values, children will learn from us.
ఈ విధంగా ఈ 3 రోజుల లోపల కావాల్సిన విషయాలని నేర్చుకొని ఇదొక టీచర్స్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ మాత్రం భావించుకోకుండా ఇదొక భారతీయ సంస్కృతిని పునరుద్ధరణ నిమిత్తమై జరుగుతున్న ఒక ప్రయాసమని అనుకొని మీరు పాల్గొండి.
You will be here for 3 days. Don't think it is just a teachers conference. Here is an effort to revive the glory of Indian culture.
కాబట్టి కావాల్సిన అన్ని కూడా మీరు డిస్కస్ చేసిన, విమర్శించిన, విచారించిన ఇదొక్కటి మాత్రము మీ మనసు లోపల ప్రాథమికంగా మీరు పెట్టుకోండి.
You may discuss many skills and techniques and many subjects, but in your mind you should keep imprinted this one particular principle of truth.
కట్టకడబడికి ఈ భారతీయ యొక్క సంస్కృతిని మనము సుదృఢం చేయాలా. ఈ యొక్క బాధ్యత ఆచార్యుల చేతుల్లోనే ఉంది కానీ తల్లిదండ్రులు వేరే వాళ్ళ చేతిలో కాదు.
The responsibility of reviving Indian culture in Indian children squarely lies upon only teachers. The responsibility is not there on the shoulders of the parents or others.
ఒక మంచి దేశం కావాలంటే దానికి మంచి టీచర్స్ ప్లస్ మంచి స్టూడెంట్స్.
If you want a good nation is nothing but good students but plus good teachers.
మీరందరూ కూడా వచ్చే సమయం లోపల మహానుభావుల ద్వారా చెప్పిన విషయాలన్నీ కూడా చక్కగా నేర్చుకొని దాన్ని మననం చేసి నిధిధ్యాసంలో పెడతారని ఆశీర్వదిస్తూ అందరినీ స్వాగతిస్తూ అనుగ్రహిస్తూ నా ప్రసంగాన్ని ముగిస్తున్నాను.
I bless, shower my grace, welcome all the delegates here with the aspiration that you will learn the right kind of lessons from all the experts and great people who are going to come here and address you. I conclude my discourse.
यहोवा शक्ति तू, यीशु पिता प्रभु तू, रुद्र विष्णु तू, राम कृष्ण तू, रहीम तावो तू, रहीम तावो तू, वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तू, चिदानंद हरि तू, अद्वितीय तू, अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तू, आत्मलिंग शिव तू, साई आत्मलिंग शिव तू. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी सत्य साई हरे, भक्त जना संरक्षक, भक्त जना संरक्षक, पति महेश्वरा. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, जय शिवतना श्रीकरा, सर्वा प्राणपते, स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आपद्बान्धवा. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, मातपिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु नीवे, स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा, नागेन्द्राशयना. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा, सत्य साई महादेवा, मंगल आरती अंदुको, मंगल आरती अंदुको, मंगल गिरिधारी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण, नारायण नारायण ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य, नारायण नारायण ओम. जय सद्गुरुदेवा, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य, नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य, नारायण नारायण ओम. जय सद्गुरुदेवा, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य, नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य, नारायण सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा